Tomorrow, we begin massive transformation in your business and the woman that you are. Tomorrow, you will embark on a journey that elevates and shifts your entire essence. You will walk away with knowing how to make more money and removing what's blocking the flow of money and income you want in your business. I took the fundamentals of how I shift my clients in a one-on-one setting and poured it into a program that I am freaking obsessed with. Up until this point, you have probably heard me sharing a little bit on the past couple episodes about From Broke and Stuck to Cash and Clarity. And this is a program that I am so proud of and I'm so excited to begin. We start tomorrow. I cannot believe that the doors are starting to close. So 4 years ago, when I launched my very first online business, I was given a checklist that I was told would bring me six-figure success. I actually found it the other morning, which is crazy. It consisted of follow-ups, posting 5 times a day, adding my friends, sending some cool messages, posting all about my transformation, and just some icky tactics that left me feeling really creepy and were, in the long run, very ineffective. Just let's say that much. Making more money is not just about manifesting it and hoping that it's going to show up. And it's not about implementing a perfect strategy. It comes down to shifting into a container and a level that you feel worthy of the success that you desire, where you own your authentic power and voice, stepping into magnetic and sexy confidence in your sales, having clarity in who you help and how you help transform them, and authentically aligning your strategy to fit you. Because I launched what I'm intuitively guided to serve with, this program may not run again until 2019. It's also because, you guys, I'm pregnant and baby's coming in about 9 weeks. And there's a lot of exciting projects that I have for the rest of the year. We have this podcast. There's, masterminds and things that I have planned and things in my head that I'm just brewing up. And although not every single thing that I have brewing up is totally set in stone, because I do everything so intuitively and I have to kind of feel into what I feel called to share that season, I cannot guarantee that this program will be run again until 2019. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew that, and that you weren't thinking that it would maybe be run again in a month and could join then. I don't want anyone to miss out on that. So, after the first round, you guys, I had my students making more money. They were charging their worth. They were signing customers. They were healing a lifelong toxic relationship with money. They were taking control and charge of their business, making massive leaps and investments with courage, and so much more. It was so freaking beautiful. I'm going to break it down here for you a little bit, just so that you get a little bit of more insight into what you can expect. So day 1, we will walk through the fire together. You will finally understand why you're not making the money and income in your business that you crave. Day 2, you will unleash a new money paradigm to forever change how you view and use money. Day 3, you will step in and become the woman who receives. Without this critical step, we miss the biggest mark in creating the income level that we truly want for the life we envision. Day 4, you will claim your expertise, solidify your niche, and stand out in your noisy and saturated market. Day 5, you will learn how to sell with massive impact and ease to turn your followers into loyal and repeat customers. And day 6, you will set up shop and gain clarity and incredible confidence around your offers. And day 7, you will learn to close your sales like a freaking ninja. So there is only a couple days left, Kate, to say freaking hell yes to you. So I am so excited. I have been welcoming in babes like crazy to this program, and so I'm just excited to serve you inside. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. You can email me at bossybabecoaching@gmail.com, find me on Facebook or Instagram and direct message me. Those are probably direct messaging is probably going to be the quickest way to get into contact with me, but either or will work. And there will be a link in the show notes to register and to save your spot. So just remember, we are in the final hours, okay? We begin tomorrow, and I will be closing the doors right before our first training begins. So make sure that you snag your spot, you don't miss out, and I cannot wait to welcome you in. I can't wait to share this space with you. I can't wait to embark on this incredible journey with you. So thank you so freaking much, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm Bensette, founder of the Bossy Babe brand, fitness coach, and serial entrepreneur turned intuitive life and business coach. The Wealthy Babe podcast is for the ambitious, courageous, and spiritually charged up woman in network marketing, craving wealth not only in her bank account, but in every aspect of her life. Get plugged in here each week for authentic and unfiltered conversations from myself and industry leaders who are going to support you and give you all the juicy behind the scenes and real talk around business, spirituality, strong points of view, and doing shit differently. This is a safe space to come undone, be heard, and be given permission to rewrite your own damn rules. So here we go. What's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Wealthy Babe podcast. I am so excited, you guys, because this topic is super freaking important. Failing to make money. What does this even mean? What does this look like? Why is this something that we are all so freaking scared to do? Let's talk about it, okay? I'm going to bring you guys the real deal on failing to make money and why it's necessary, why it's so freaking important, why it's something that it's basically a rite of passage. It's something that we all have to do. It's not something that anybody gets away with. So, you guys, entrepreneurship and making money should be really fucking messy. That's just the gist of it. That's the point. It should be really fucking messy. This is not something that should look pre-planned or have this perfect strategy or have zero mistakes or zero flops. That is not how an amazing or incredible or successful or powerful entrepreneur is crafted to be. That's not how they're made. Making money does not come as a one-hit wonder, okay? It does not just happen. It doesn't fall out of the sky. It's something that takes mistakes. It's something that takes lessons. It takes time. It takes practice, but none of it takes perfection, okay? I don't know anybody who has created success out of perfection. It doesn't happen, yet it's something that we all want to achieve. It's something that we all seem to want to do when it comes to creating our business. And my true opinion is that failure is like your entry fee to success. It's almost like in order to get on the rides, in order to go have the fun, in order to experience exactly what it is that you want to experience, you got to pay a fee. You got to put something down for it, and that's failure. Okay, that's failure. And the thing is that because it's our face, because it's our brand, because it's who we are, right? It's our soul, it's our heart. Everything that you create as an entrepreneur is a product of you. It's an extension of you. Whereas beforehand, when I was in my network marketing company and that was the only thing that I was doing at the time versus what I'm doing now, it was really easy for me to almost feel, maybe not easy for me to feel like it was okay to fail, but I could put the blame essentially on other things. It could be like, oh, well, it was the company, or oh, it was this, or it was that. And like people just didn't like the product, or people didn't like the company. It didn't have to be on me. But something big shifted when I became my own brand and I became my own business, and everything was on me. And that's what, I mean, a lot of my babes that I work with, my clients that are in network marketing, they're building their own personal brands. So they do encounter this. This is something they go with. They move through every single time that they step into this, is that because it's our face, it's our brand, it's our heart, it's our soul, it's our art, we don't want to look silly. And what I know is true here is that we get conditioned from childhood that if we mess up, if we get in trouble, if we get made fun of, that it's bad. And at a certain point, we decide that we didn't like how that felt. At a certain point, we said, this wasn't fun. This didn't feel good. I don't like being judged. I don't like getting in trouble. I don't like being punished. I don't like being made fun of. I don't like these things. This doesn't feel good. So I don't want to do any more of it. So in that moment, that one moment, whether that was, you were in a school play and you messed up some words, or it didn't go out the way that you wanted to, and it didn't feel good, right? Maybe that was the moment. Maybe you did something at home and your dad or your mom got really mad at you and you got punished for it. And at this point, whether you realize it or not, you decided that it was better to stay safe, that it was better to stay comfy, and you didn't want to feel that way again. And so in that moment, you made this decision, even if it was subconscious, it was buried deep down, and now you're not taking action because of it. Now you are usually settling, and you want to stay comfy, you want to stay safe. And I get it, nobody likes to feel rejection. No one likes to feel judged. No one likes to feel these things the first time you're feeling them. But as you start to feel them, as you start to move through them, you figure out how to, I guess, rise above it. You understand, and you learn how to move through it easier. You understand that it's not ever really about you, and you come up with your own methods to stand really strong and unshakable while those things happen, and they don't affect you the way that they used to. But every single time we experience it for the first time, and we get this feedback. I mean, for example, you guys, I got I got some nasty feedback on my podcast in the reviews. And the thing is like, I'm not against feedback. I'm not against learning things to do better. I'm not against that whatsoever. I'm all for wanting to grow and evolve. However, when I read it, I could tell that it came from such a space of hurt. It came from a space of maybe even jealousy, their own judgment within themselves. It's coming from it's not coming from a pure space. And so when I read that, I looked at it and I was like, this review literally has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. They probably didn't even read, or they probably didn't even listen to a single episode. And it's probably someone from my past in some way, shape, or form, from somewhere along the lines. And I knew in this moment that it had nothing to do with me. And so if I would have read this for the first time, or I had never had a troll or a hater or somebody come down on me beforehand, this was the first time I was seeing something like this, it would have probably shook me to my freaking core. But I've been through this before. I've been putting myself out on social media for 4 years, and I've received feedback. I have received hate. I have been deleted. I have had everything happen under the sun that you could probably think about. And so when I seen that, I was like, oh, dang, that sucks that like it has to stay on there. But I'm also like, it's fine. Like, it really doesn't bother me. I wasn't bugged. I wasn't upset. I didn't cry. It didn't even shake me. And that's the thing, is this review didn't even shake me. I'm like, that's cool. Like, I want to give people their freedom of speech. And if that's how they want to express themselves, then, that's okay. Because I truly believe that anybody who would have read it would know and could feel that the intentions weren't pure. So that's okay to me. But you're not the only one, right? We all go through these moments. We all receive shitty feedback. We all have people that say things that aren't kind, and it's okay, right? It's okay. But in order for you to evolve, you have to be willing to take that on, because otherwise staying safe and comfy is just going to make you settle. And I don't know a single entrepreneur that has success and hasn't failed along the way. I don't care if it's an entrepreneur. I don't care if it's a celebrity. I don't care if it's somebody that you look up to that's successful in another space. You have to look at them and see that they probably got rejected before, that they had failures, they had mistakes, things happened, things weren't perfect. And that's okay, right? It's okay. You still follow them, you still love them, and then you probably follow them and love them because of it, not the other way around, okay? So, you guys, in all transparency and super realness, I have had launches that flopped. I have put courses out or programs and they haven't sold. I have put out videos that people really didn't show up to. I have had messed up on sales calls. I have had babes that have said yes on a sales call and then it turned into no's. I have had other businesses that I no longer have. I've closed the doors on them. There have been so many times. I mean, even I think my very first, I definitely, when I was teaching fitness classes, I made mistakes. I totally made mistakes. I would go the wrong way because it was all choreographed. And so I would go the wrong way, or I'd maybe do the wrong count, or I would say the wrong thing. And you guys, it happens. Like, shit happens. It's all part of the game. You are not a robot. You are meant to be imperfect. You are meant to make mistakes. You are meant to just be, right? Like, it's impossible. It's impossible for every single thing that you do, you say, and you put out to be absolutely flawless. So how are you even defining failure? What is the power that you're giving it? That's what you need to be asking yourself right now, because we all say, I'm scared to fail, I'm scared to fail, I'm scared to fail. But like, what is failure? What is failure? Is it possible to fail? Is that even a thing? Like, how are you defining it? How are you putting out into the world? What's the meaning that you're giving it? What's the power you're giving it? Because if we take its power away, then what? What do we have, right? What if failure was impossible? What if it was only either removing what wasn't meant for you or directing you closer to something better? What if that was the only options that there were? Okay, what if it was literally impossible to fail? We build it up to be so much worse in our minds, right? What if they judge me for posting my transformation photo? What if people don't support me? What if I launch and no one signs up or no one buys? What if I go live and I make a mistake and people see that I'm just human, right? We get ourselves in our head. So what if it wasn't possible for you to think about the future or the past? Would these thoughts exist? If you could only live in what is now, okay? If you could not think into the future, if you couldn't see the future, if you couldn't worry about the past, if you couldn't worry about what happened as you were a kid, if you couldn't think about what could potentially happen when you do the damn thing, whether you're posting a scary photo, if you're announcing something for the first time, if you're putting yourself onto social media and your family has no idea what to expect, if you were about to invest in a coach and you have no idea where the money is coming from, you're about to go live on live video and you're so scared that you're gonna forget what you're saying or you're gonna make a mistake or cough or your kids are gonna run into it. What if it was not possible for you to think about the past or the future? What would these thoughts, like, would any of this exist if you could only live in what is now? Separate these thoughts, okay? Separate these thoughts from you, because these thoughts have been around for decades. You're not the first person to have these fears. You're not the first person to have these thoughts. These are things that have been around for a really long time, so they are not you. They are completely separate from you. You have to remove it and put it into a totally different room, okay? So think about this. If this was your roommate, Jane, okay, we're going to call her Jane, Jane, our girl. If this was Jane saying this, what would you say? If this was like your roommate and the things that you're saying in your head, okay, because this voice isn't you. So I want you to think about this voice like it's your roommate, like it's a friend, like it's just somebody else that lives with you. What would you say then? Okay, because these thoughts are not you. There's somebody else. It's something else. It's just in your imagination. So what would you say? The real deal is, you guys, that you're human. You are a badass fucking human, but a human nonetheless. So who do you see show up as perfect? Do you expect this from other people? I want you to assess this, right? I want you to actually dig a little bit deeper and see, do you expect other people to show up as perfect? And who do you actually look up to that shows up that way? Because I think that if you actually dug in a little bit deeper and you looked at it, the people that you follow and you love do not show up as perfect. They have insecurities. They have imperfections. They mess up. They have things happen to them. And if you don't expect other people to be perfect and you actually really like when they show up imperfect, maybe they're showing up without makeup, or maybe they make a mistake on their live, or they're kind of a hot mess. Like, I bet you that if you love that, your ideal client is also going to love that. The person that you're serving is going to love that. You don't have to be perfect. And I know that I don't have to confirm that or validate that for you. However, you need to assess like what your expectations are for other people. Because if you're expecting that from other people, then maybe that's the reason why you have that expectation you're putting on yourself. But if you don't expect this from other people, there's no reason why others would expect it from you. So to move closer to what you do want, you have to be willing to find out what doesn't work, okay? What you don't want, what doesn't work, what isn't happening for you. You need, in order to find more of the things that you want, the things that work, the things that are working in your favor, you have to almost do this process of elimination. You have to see the things that, in a launch don't work. You have to see the things in a live video that don't work. You have to see how to move through when people don't support you, especially if you're in a space where you're helping other people. A lot of the time, you're going through the things that you're going through because someone is right behind you that is going to be your client or customer that needs you to have gone through this. They need you to experience what it's like to be judged and how to move through that with strength and dignity and power. If you are posting your transformation photo and it is scary for you, that person who's coming your way, maybe they're about to join your team, they need you to have done this first. They need to know how to do it themselves, how to have courage. They need to know. And if you haven't done it, you can't relate to them on a soul level, right? If you're scared to launch, or you are, if you have a flopped launch or something happens, that there's potentially a person coming your way. Okay, there's a person coming your way who is going to be a client, and they're going to have a launch, and they need to know what happens if it launches and it flops. They need to know what to do, how to move through it, how to use it as a learning lesson and a tool to move forward with. The people that are coming, the lessons that you're given and the things that you learn and all these opportunities and experiences to grow and evolve and to be better and to elevate yourself essentially are coming to you for a reason. And every single time I looked at, bad feedback or something happening with my family or parents, or a messed up sales call, or somebody that said yes initially and then they said no, or I had anything like messing up on a live video, absolutely any single thing that happened to me was happening for me. And every single time, even down to me getting pregnant, I'm not even kidding you, I had a client always immediately following right after who was going through the same thing. And every single time I was so grateful that I had just walked through it myself so I could help them do the same. I'm not kidding you. Every single time something crazy happened, whether it was investing in my coach and not knowing how, whether it was getting pregnant, whether it was doing sales calls or having something flop, every single time I had a client on their way and they were going through it just now, and I had just walked through it. And it was beautiful because I could look at it and be like, I know why the universe was giving me this lesson and giving me this blessing essentially. But in the moment, it's hard for us to see it. But if we sit in this moment of why me, when these mistakes and these things do happen, then we won't be able to see the lesson in it. But if we can look at this and say, well, what is the lesson here? What is this teaching me? What permission is this giving me? Who could potentially be on my way? You can start to look at it with so much power, and you can move through it in a really, really beautiful way. So here's the thing, you guys, is fear shifts. Fear doesn't go away. It's not something that you wake up one day with and it's gone. That will never happen. I promise you 110%, it will never happen. Fear just shifts. So initially you're going to feel fear about something, okay? You're going to feel fear about posting. Maybe you're going to feel, no, let's backtrack here. Maybe you're going to feel some fear about joining the network marketing company that you're with, okay? You're like, oh my gosh, I don't have the money. How am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to make this work? Okay, so then you find the money, you join. Now you have fear, right? You have fear like, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to make this work? Am I going to be able to do this? Is this going to work out? Is this going to be for me? And then you kind of move through that, right? And then you have fear. Oh, are people going to judge me? What are they going to say when I post for the first time? What are they going to say when I announce this? And then you move through it because you announce it, right? You do the damn thing and you're like, oh, that was amazing. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And then you have to do the next thing, right? Maybe it's, posting your first transformation photo, or maybe it is going live, or it is launching a program, or it's launching your course, or it's launching your group, or whatever the case might be. And you feel fear there. And then you level up again and you start making more money. And then you're like, oh my gosh, is this money going to go away? Is there going to be more clients where this came from? Will I be successful? Okay, hit this rank. Will this rank stay or go? Fear, you guys, does not go away. It just moves from one thing to the next. Okay, so you have to recognize that when it comes down to failure, because that fear about what could happen, what might happen, is never going to shift, or it's never going to go away. It's just going to shift from one thing to the next. You have to be willing to walk through that fire and walk with your fear. That's the biggest thing. Is it's not about being fearless, it's walking with it. Your first live should be really fucking messy. Your first launch should be really fucking messy. And when you first open the doors to your business, whether you're launching your site, you're getting on your first sales call, it should all be fucking messy, okay? This is not something that should look perfect at any point. If you wait till it's perfect, I can assure you that you waited too fucking long, okay? You're too late, If you wait until it's perfect, you're too late. So think about it, you guys. What is the worst that can happen? Okay, you're not going to die. So no matter what the worst case scenario, it's still a win. Okay, take fear's power away and say this or something better, this or something better, this or something better. Okay, failure is your entry fee to success. If you're not willing to take the chance, entrepreneurship ultimately isn't for you. And that is some real deal truth right now. That is a bomb that I'm dropping on you, but it's for real. If you're not willing to take that chance, then this path isn't for you. You cannot win in entrepreneurship without being okay with failure. When something doesn't work out, when I feel unsure and I feel uneasy, when I'm worried about the what if, I dive into my journal. Okay, so what if it does work? That's what I say. I'm like, what if it all does work, right? What actions and beliefs do I need to have to support it all working out? Okay, what actions and beliefs do I need to have to support it all working out? I'll also journal on and, what is causing me to feel uneasy? And then I ask myself, how can I remind myself what is true? What is true about the situation? Is it true that I'm not going to be judged, or that I'm going to be judged? Is it true that I'm going to totally fail? Is it true that I'm not successful? Is it true that I can't do this? I need to figure out at the very root of it, why do I even feel uneasy to begin with? And how can I remind myself really of what really is true here? Where am I not supporting myself? Where am I judging myself? Because a lot of the time, if we're worried about other people judging us, or we're worried about not being supported, it's not because of other people. It's because we're not supporting ourselves. It's because we are judging ourselves. And so in order to move past that, we can't worry about being validated from other people. We can't worry about doing this for other people. We can't make it about anyone else other than us. We have to look inside and say, if I'm feeling these things, where am I not supporting myself, and where am I judging myself for my decisions? Maybe in the past you were with network marketing. Maybe in the past you judged network marketers, and now you're like, and you're in it and you're judging yourself for it. So there's all these different things. There's these underlying beliefs, and the only way to move through them and really to conquer them is to understand them. So you have to go through, you have to dig deep, and you have to be willing to do the work. Otherwise, they're just going to exist. They're just going to exist. They're going to be there. So ultimately, guys, if we make this about us, okay, if you make this about you, you're missing the whole damn point, okay? You're missing the whole damn point of why you are in service, okay? If we're spending so much time wondering about how this is affecting us, and if we're going to be judged, and if we're going to fail, and if we're going to make a mistake, then we're not doing this for the right reasons. Then we're making it all about us, and we're not doing this for the greater good of the people who need us. And so that's something that we have to assess, and we have to look into this a little bit and say, well, am I being a little selfish here? Am I making this too much about me? Well, who am I even doing this all for? And trusting and surrendering and being okay and letting go, and knowing that the people who are meant to hear what you have to say will hear it. The people that are meant to be impacted by what it is that you have to say in this world and the work that you have to do will be impacted. You don't need to fight for something that's meant for you. And I thoroughly, thoroughly believe that. Every single thing that happens to you is happening for you, okay? It's either a lesson, it is a blessing, or it's directing you towards something better. There's no way you can lose here, but if you continue to put your focus there, if you continue to believe that that is what's happening for you, then that's how it will play out. That's how it will play out. But if you want a different outcome, then you can choose right now to create a different outcome. So I hope, you guys, that this helped you. I hope that you're excited now to go fail. I hope that you're excited to go take some really messy fucking action and just leap, okay? Leap. Just do the damn thing and know that you're going to be supported. Know that just trust, okay? Trust. Know that you're supported. Know that you're okay. Know that you're going to win no matter what it is that happens. So I really do hope that this gave you some inspiration, gave you some help, gave you some guidance and some support in that next best step, and you are going to go and not be held back by this. And if you want to make some really abundant fucking money, you're going to go and be so excited to fail. Okay, guys, I love you so freaking much. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.